My hair was so fluffy yesterday, and now it's all gone. Hi and welcome to this video. My name is Laura and today I want to talk about a German book. So this is going to be the first in my first kind of series of talking about German books that have been translated into English. And so I stumbled upon the translation of this book that I'm going to talk about by accident. I don't even know why. I just saw that it had a translation and I thought, yeah, maybe I could just do some research and find out what other books have been translated into English, just to get you some international literature. Yes, so the book I picked out for the first episode is Tyll by Daniel Kehlmann. So I will put the English covers somewhere here because I think there's been 2 or 3. But let me just read to you the synopsis that I found on the English Amazon. So, Daniel Kehlmann masterfully weaves the fates of many historical figures into this enchanting work of magical realism and adventure. This account of the 17th century vagabond performer and trickster Tyll begins when he's a scrawny boy growing up in a quiet village. When his father, a miller with a secret interest in alchemy and magic, is found out by the church, Tyll is forced to flee with the baker's daughter Nele. They find safety and companionship with a traveling performer who teaches Tyll his trade. And so begins a journey of discovery and performance for Tyll as he travels through a continent devastated by the 30 Years' War and encounters along the way a hangman, a fraudulent Jesuit scholar, the exiled King Frederick, and Queen Elizabeth of Bohemia. Tyll displays Kehlmann's remarkable narrative gifts and confirms the power of art in the face of the senseless brutality of history. So that's the official synopsis that I got from Amazon.com for the English version. So yes, Tyll is about Tyll Eulenspiegel, who is a quite prominent figure of German literature. So, like the synopsis said, he's a performer and trickster. He's a juggler, and at one point he ends up as the king's fool as well. So he has gone a long way from his small village. The story in this book, so it's not really in chronological order, so I don't know if you can see this, but there's like a few separate chapters which are all kind of different stories. So Tyll in this story, he's not really the main focus, so it's not just like you start with him as a young boy and follow him on his journey through Europe, but it's more like those separate stories with different protagonists, and at some point Tyll plays a center role in the story. So if you are looking for a book that has a very straight narrative, this is not it. So it's more like a collection of shorter stories where he makes an appearance. So this book is also kind of, it's told from the outside, so I got the feeling that you don't have that many insights into the character's feelings, especially not the titular character, because he's always just there. So I don't think that it is a bad thing, because I don't get the feeling like this was written with those strong emotions of the characters in mind, that it's more like a record of the things that happened. But yeah, if you want characters full of emotion and inner turmoil, you won't get that here either. So the 30 Years' War has been So you don't need to know about that war in order to understand what's going on. Okay, so I'm not a history crack, but from what I've found out about the 30 Years' War, it's like a religious kind of battle between the Catholics and I think it would be Lithuanians in English. I don't know. But those two factions who fight against each other, and there's some major players on both sides, and stuff happens, and it takes them very long to finish the war. And in this book, you'll meet some people who are important to why the war happened and how the cause of the war was. But you'll also meet simple people who are just peasants and who are just kind of thrown into all that stuff and don't really want to be there. So if you're looking for kind of an insight into how things were during that time, I think this one could be actually quite good. So I enjoyed reading this. I expected something different. So this book was originally released in 2017, and it has been quite popular. So I've seen this in bookstores everywhere I went, and it was always on full display and like, hey, this is the hottest shit ever, pick it up. And I never did, and then I did at some point because so this was one of my phases where I thought I should read more literary fiction and less fantasy, because that's the smart stuff, right? Yeah, no, so I picked it up and it was lying around for quite some time. And then I picked it up and it didn't turn out how I thought it would be. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it as much as other things, because I think it's just not like my type of book. For the English translation, I haven't read the English translation, but I've seen one comment on Amazon that says that the English translation reads like it has been written in English. And there's also an excerpt on the page, I think. That one I've read, and yeah, it sounds quite alright. So I think that it isn't that bad, if it is. I think it's, I don't know, I can't judge because I haven't read the whole book, but from what I've seen, I think you shouldn't worry about the translation. Yeah, so what else is there to say? Oh, there's also one scene in this book that reminded me of Game of Thrones, and if you've read Game of Thrones and if you read this one as well, you'll see what I mean. So this can get quite gruesome at times, so because it's not a great time. There's witch hunts and also like the war going on, people dying, people starving. So if you have a weak stomach, maybe this one's not for you. It's not a nice place, this world where this is taking place. And if you're looking for a coherent story, this one's not for you as well, because it's, like I said, many smaller stories. But if you're looking for something, so it's not that long, it's like 470 pages, but this is how the Germans print, so there's not that much on a page. I assume it's because so that people with bad eyesight can read the books better than if they were printed very small. But I think, let me check, so the English version is like 350 pages. Yes, so that's the first German book I want to present to you, and I have some other books on my radar that I want to go into after this one. There will be fantasy books. I think I'll cover some of the classics as well. This is going to be fun. And also more of like more recent literature. So if you enjoyed this insight into German literature, just maybe leave a comment and tell me what you think about it, what I can do better next time, and what else you would like to see maybe if there's some books you're interested in. So I would also be very willing to talk about German books that do not have a translation. Just leave a comment and tell me about your thoughts. Yeah, so that's it. Bye!